captioning. My next guest, Pam, has been living with rheumatoid arthritis for more than 15 years. At one point, she was virtually bedridden for 2 years. Yet Pam says people still don't understand how debilitating the condition is. Take a look.
This is not your grandma's bad knee. This is so much more than just arthritis. This is a disease people can't see. So if I park in a disabled parking space, I've had ugly comments. Hey, miss, you're not disabled. You can't park there. And I just want to say, if only you could walk in my body for 10 minutes. It affects my lungs, my kidneys, my joints. I can't be the mom that my kids want or deserve. I can't make plans and say, let's go to the ballpark. Let's go on vacation. RA is a living hell.
Well, Pam is here, and also joining us is our really good friend, Dr. Frida Lewis Hall, Chief Medical Officer of Pfizer. So welcome. Appreciate you guys. Doctor, explain to us exactly what rheumatoid arthritis is and its symptoms, because I fear so much, and I know this with some members of my own family, people that sometimes suffer from this and don't know it, and therefore they don't do what they need to do to stop or to treat it.
And it's important to do early diagnosis and early treatment in this disease, because it is a very serious disease, as Pam is telling us. So rheumatoid arthritis, or RA as we call it, is an autoimmune disease. That means our body's defense system essentially attacks normal, healthy tissue like the joints. And this inflammation that's caused by that can actually ultimately lead to joint destruction. It's also not just a joint disease. It's a systemic illness, so it affects other tissues like the heart, the lung, and sometimes the eyes. So, and a lot of people do get this confused with osteoarthritis, which is the most common form of arthritis. You called it, I think, your grandma's bum knee, right? And
not that that's anything to sneeze at.
Not at all. Not at all. That, too, is a very serious disease. Right. It's different, though. It is caused by wear and tear over time on the joints and often affects older people. Remember, RA is systemic, it's autoimmune, and it affects women 3 times more often than it does men. And it's got a wide array of symptoms. The joints tend to be swollen and warm and red and tender to the touch and very painful. Morning stiffness is characteristic and lasts for a very long time. In addition, you can have fever, fatigue, weight loss, and some people get nodules underneath the skin called rheumatoid nodules.
Right. And I think it's important for people to know this, because it's systemic, it does affect these other body parts and systems, so it can be a really life-threatening disease in terms of spreading. And have you had to deal with some of those issues?
Yes, I've gone to the hospital twice since diagnosis with pleurisy, which is affecting the lungs. You know, I have the joint swelling, I have the fatigue especially, and I have rheumatoid nodules in some areas.
Yeah, and I've had this in my family, and I've seen it, and I actually did my doctoral dissertation on the treatment of rheumatoid arthritis way back when we were still chiseling this out on stone tablets and stuff, and there's been huge strides have been made in the treatment of rheumatoid arthritis in the last years.
Absolutely, and it is so very important to get an early diagnosis. So if you have any of these symptoms at any age, really urgently get to talk to someone about this. Speak with a rheumatologist, a specialist in this area, because you want to ensure an early diagnosis and a treatment plan that's really designed to be suited to you, because there are a wide range of options. And this is especially important because if you look at what can happen in RA, it is often a progressive disease. And any delays in diagnosis or treatment really increase the risk of longer-term destruction of the joints and disability.
Does this cycle with you? Do you have some times that are better than others for you?
Definitely. You know, I wake up, I'm very stiff in the mornings. It takes sometimes as long as 3 hours to work through that. And then I have to go throughout my day, and at the end of the day, it's just exhausting. It's hard to get through the day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but if you, and I think the key is if people, no matter what their age, if they get to it early,